One percenters, welcome back. The Nikola Jokic problem aim hoops. Let's see what he says.
But then Kendrick Perkins called. Nikola Jokic will not win the MVP. It will be Joel Embiid. Jokic was a huge favorite to win his third straight, but then Kendrick Perkins called out the media. He said, last 20 plus years, 3 guys have won, not top 10 in scoring. Steve Nash, Dirk Nowitzki, and Jokic.
What do those guys have in common? I'll let it sit there and marinate. You think about it.
Well,
Kendrick Perkins, I think he gets more outrageous by the year, and he just says stuff to say stuff.
they're all white,
Get
obviously.
clicks.
He then said most voters are white and stopped just short of calling them racist. And when Perk made that statement, Jokic was favored at minus 278. For Embiid, you'd have to bet just $100 to win $500. Now, Embiid jumped so much, you'd have to bet $227 just to win $100. Jokic is now the underdog. So
Follow the money.
Voters get caught and don't want to look racist. MVP voting is not anonymous. We can all see who voted for Jokic. Twitter will let them know you are racist for not picking Embiid. No, they are not afraid. Since Perk called out the voters, the Nuggets have just been awful. They are just 2-4 and could potentially lose the #1 seed. During that streak, they are dead last in defense, and the #1 culprit is the Joker. Defense has been conveniently ignored because his offense is so amazing, but the Nuggets have a huge Nikola Jokic problem. Over this horrible stretch, they have lost.
Defense is a team thing. If your guards or wing players get burned all the time or can't contain or just lazy, it's gonna fall back on your last line of defense, which is Joker, and we know he's not a great rim protector. He's a great team defender.
Lost to teams like the Spurs and the Raptors and the Bulls and the Nets. And in the middle of it all is the back-to-back MVP. Teams have been going
All of those
at
teams
him
are kinda
over
going,
and over,
to the
exposing
playoffs.
how bad a defender he actually is. Jokic barely even tries against Scotty Barnes. Chris Boucher catches him sleeping at the rim. The horrible Spurs shot 19 of 32 against Jokic in a win. People are going to say, oh, this is just hating on Jokic. It's not hating, it's just the facts.
It's the facts.
But it's worse when you
It's the facts. Joker definitely has to improve his motor, whether that's getting in shape, being a little bit bouncier. He just has to give more effort, and when he does, he's gonna get in foul trouble. So the team's gonna have to get some help.
you compare it to the defense of Giannis and Joel Embiid. But first, today's sponsor is
No.
DLC. I wouldn't
Save your
fantasy
money.
in this video because obviously
Save your money or bet bigger and make the games more exciting.
hopefully you take those picks 8% the 95 Rockets.
Oh God, I always say
around
this.
40
Offense wins championships. This ain't freaking football or another sport.
2 champions, all were top 10 in defense.
Top 10 defense. Where's the offensive rank? I need to see the offensive rank.
I'm not going to list all 42, you get the point. But
Look at the 2001 Lakers, 21 ranked defense. I bet you they were top 3 ranked offense because 2002, number 7.
there were 3 exceptions. The 95 Rockets, who were the lowest seed to ever win. The 01 Lakers and 18 Dubs all jumped to #1 in the playoffs. The ultimate
Gotta score
flip
more than the other
switch
team.
teams. Everyone else is at least top 10. This year, Denver is 16th. As long as Jokic is the Nuggets' best player, they may never win a ring. And that says a lot about his back-to-back MVPs. Look at those MVP seasons.
How about trade Michael Porter Jr.? He's got terrible defense.
Oh, the dragons, old and spice, the sacred source of eternity.
In 2021, when they were swept by the Suns, Jokic had a plus-minus of -10 or worse in every game. Last year, his numbers were abysmal, including 2 of his top 5 worst games of the season. It was embarrassing to see the Warriors picking on Jokic over and over. You could say, oh, but he had to carry his teams. Yeah, that's the same with other MVPs like Giannis. The Nuggets have by far the most pressure to win in the West. If they have another early exit,
Why do they have the most pressure if his defense is so terrible and they're going to lose anyways. There should be no pressure. If you think he's that good, then he has pressure. But if you think he's bad and his defense is bad, there's no pressure because they're not going to win.
Jokic will get
Arguments.
crushed as a regular season player. We all knew the criticism was coming. It's finally here. But it's not all his fault. In 2021, he was missing Jamal Murray, who tore his ACL. Last season, his starters against the Warriors, Jeff Green, Aaron Gordon, Monte Morris, and Will Barton. Who is going to win with that roster? But this year, everyone is healthy, including Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr., so there is no excuse.
Will Barton and Monte Morris should be on the episode of who he played for, because nobody knows.
When they lose, Jokic will get the label as a loser and a one-way star. It is the worst label to have
label him
as
a
a
loser.
great player. Nick Wright got clowned when he said Jokic was overrated.
And I know Nuggets fans are going to get mad at me. If Nikola Jokic wins the MVP, he's the worst player to win the MVP since Dave Cowens.
No.
Well, he's about to look like a genius. Jokic is the most talented offensive player alive. He is a guy when it comes to...
When a guy gets all the hype and all the praise, and then the only way to, you got to bring him back down to earth, so the media's got to flip-flop on him, and now he's terrible. Same thing with Russell Westbrook before. He's the only guy to average a triple-double, and then he can't win, and then you trade him, and then he's terrible, and then now he's on a better team with the Clippers or something like that. You make him a six-man, he falls in line, and then now he's good again. People start liking him again.
passing at his size, but we act like defense isn't that big of a deal. It actually is. The front office has a lot of work to do, and it means that they will trade one of Joker's star teammates. I'll get to who...
Name the last 10 defensive players of the year. You don't care.
That is in a bid. Right now, he has...
Why don't we have defensive player of the year talks and discussions all the time? Nobody cares about defense. This is all a lie. It's a scam.
3 good defenders around him. Contavious Caldwell-Pope, Aaron Gordon, and Bruce Brown. In their most used lineup, only 2 of them are on the floor, KCP and Gordon. In that scenario, the other team is constantly attacking either Jokic or Michael Porter. On this play,
How many points you get? How many points you get for getting stops? 0.
Full screen, and Peyton Pritchard sheds MPJ for the jumper. On Christmas Day, CP3 disrespected both of them. Late in the game, he gets the screen to switch on MPJ, but he sees a better matchup, so he calls for Nikola Jokic. CP gets
Yeah, let's get the 2 worst defenders in this pick and roll.
a great look off. He misses, but that shows how easy Denver is to attack. In the playoffs, I could see them in a big moment benching MPJ for Bruce Brown. It'll happen late in big games, and that will create major friction. I predict Michael Porter Jr. will be traded. At this point, he is overkill on their roster.
Overrated.
He's just not necessary. What they need is another plus wing defender. The beauty of the Warriors is everyone around Steph is great. Andrew Wiggins, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green,
Klay Thompson's an average defender
the other team
now.
can easily exploit that defense. The number 1 target for Denver when they trade MPJ should be Alex Caruso. He is better than any defender they currently have, and the Bulls might be looking to rebuild anyway. Another target for Denver? Draymond Green himself.
Oh,
That
hell
would be
to the no.
Slam dunk A+ addition. Dude can be a free agent, and if he's gonna walk for nothing anyway, the Nuggets could swoop in with a sign and trade. But the Steph comparison here is not perfect. Having bad
was too old, too
defense
slow.
at center is especially tough to overcome. You know the best teams are going to target him in the pick and roll. If you
Look at this. What about this for strategy? Move Nikola Jokic to point guard, play slower, and get yourself a better wing or rim defender. How about
remember
that?
last year, the Warriors bullied Jokic once the playoffs started like we did not see in the regular season. But what makes no sense
The initial guy on a pick and roll always gets burned anyway, so why don't you just let Joker guard the pick and roll guy?
is why the playoffs are any different. I mean, you could look at the 1 seed and say, Denver's winning right now. Why would they lose in the postseason? The best comparison is Ben Simmons.
Oh, he's the
People
GOAT.
forget, this man was a star. He was. He won Rookie of the Year and then was an
GOAT.
All-Star 3 straight seasons. But in the playoffs, there was a problem. His weakness was shooting.
Oh.
Opponents exploited that, and it killed the
Oh,
Sixers'
ref.
chances. This man put up Magic Johnson numbers in the regular season,
Collecting
but
checks.
became Mickey Johnson in the playoffs. Some random 80s player, look him up. Coaches don't like to show their entire plan in the regular season and play
Mike Malone, I think, is getting too much praise.
different in the postseason. Also, you're playing the same team every night, so scouting becomes more important. If a star player has a weakness,
The scouting's already there. It's just matchups.
it gets exploited. If the Nuggets don't fix this, it will cap whatever they can
Maybe that's why they're saving Thomas Bryant and Reggie Jackson.
do. They will continue to have a Nikola Jokic problem. But who could take over the #1 seed in the West? The Kings, baby! Yeah, I made a Kings video, and people say, oh, you never talk about the little teams. Well, then I dare you to click on this video.
The Nikola Jokic problem. Yeah, it is a problem. Can they score more than the other teams? Can they get hot and win? Yeah, they can. We'll see who they get matched up against. Interesting. I like the money switch on EMBIID. Go spend your money. You don't get to take it when you die. Until next video, take 14 minutes, 24 seconds, or 1% of your day to get better. Peace.